Okay, usual disclaimer. We will be as close to objective as we possibly can about what I like about Overwatch, with my own set of biases, things that I prefer, things that I don't prefer. My opinion is not objective. My opinion is subjective. I will focus mostly on my opinions about the base game, less so about the other things. You guys already know what I like about perks. I like choice. I like creativity. I like different playstyles being viable, different choices. I don't like crowd control usually. I like higher skill ceilings. I like higher skill floors. I like things like that. My opinion is subjective. I encourage you to look at this patch by yourself, and then hopefully you are looking at my reaction afterwards, because the truth of the matter is that if you've watched my reaction first, then your opinion is going to be tainted by my bias. Okay, there's a disclaimer. I'm also going to amp things up and yell and holler and flop in the floor like a dying fish because it's fun, not because my future children are literally dying because somebody random gets a buff that I don't like. That being said, the world will explode into a pile of agony if things aren't done perfectly here. I will try to give it a good rating. Generally, we've had 1 or 2 A-tier patch notes, so it's not like every patch is bad. I'd say the majority of patches recently have been pretty good, so we will wait and see. Loves and kisses. Here we go. Hero bans. Basically, you have, well, you can communicate with your teammates before the bans are selected. Bans for each team are simultaneous, with each team banning a total of 2 characters, but each person selects 3 heroes. Number 1 gets the most weight, number 2 gets the second most weight, number 3 gets the least weight. You can choose to ban 0 heroes. You can choose to ban 1. You can choose to ban 2. If the fewer that you ban, the more weight that you give to the heroes that you did ban and or your teammates bans. So if you really don't like playing with Mercy or Widow and you don't care about anybody else, then only ban those characters. Okay, let's go. Diva time. Diva. Let's think before we look at patch. What would be nice for Diva? There's a lot of things on Diva that revolve around Baby Diva, which is kind of like whatever. I think the biggest disappointment for me is maybe Heavy Missiles, which doesn't really seem like, I don't personally understand what it does outside of be more effective versus armor, but I don't know if that's good enough to replace the other perk. I'm not honestly sure. So either Baby Diva stuff, or maybe the Heavy Missiles perk. Okay, can you guys see that? You can. Now combines with Ejection Shoot. Okay, so they combined the 2 minor perks and gave her a new one. Eject grants 75 temporary overhealth, so she gets the overhealth from ejections, right? And Calmex damage radius is increased by 50%. So is this damage? Wait, what? I'm so confused. So it's both combined. Yeah, okay, so this is the new minor perk. Extended Boosters is the new minor perk. Okay, sorry, this is really worded confusingly. Okay, so they combined the overhealth and the Calmec damage radius. And then the new perk is Extended Boosters. Hitting an enemy with boosters increases the duration by 0.5 seconds. Sure. I mean, it's cool. It's interesting. It's fine. Gives it a little bit more reach, but it takes a little bit of strategy to kind of move it around. Yeah. It's fine. It's inoffensive. It's cool. It will be better on more broad maps, which will be really useful. Just getting a little bit extra speed, a little bit extra duration. More combos as well, and it will be relatively skillful to min-max. This is also pretty nice as well. Like, this is still useful. Like, 75 overhealth on exiting is still really nice for a minor perk especially, so I don't think it's, like, always a clear choice. And crucially, this one is also pretty fun, too. So, okay. Sure. Nice job. Bing! Good job. Hazard. Hazard. I didn't love the lifesteal on block. It didn't feel very strong, and I felt like if it was too strong, it would be really crappy to play versus. I also wasn't as much of a fan of more lifesteal off of the block. So if you hit the wall, and they hit the wall, it gives you more resource on block. It was fairly useful. It just is not all that more interesting. Like, Hazard has enough mitigation to function. I would like something that is a little bit more utility focused around wall. We had some ideas. There's like a lot of things. You have to be careful about his burst damage for sure, but I also had we had a lot of ideas of different creative ways to expand Hazard's kit. Let's see what they do. Increases leap slashes damage from 30% to 50%. Wait, what's off the top? Okay, more bonus damage on higher health targets. I like this, actually. I think this is good. It makes this choice a little bit more viable outside of 6v6. And it provides a little bit of lethality and bigger HP targets, which is something that Hazard doesn't really have, without breaking the breakpoints versus squishy characters. Yes, good. So far, so good. At least on my initial response. Good stuff. Yeah, nice job. Okay, Orisa. Orisa shield, javelin charge, These are fine. Like, I don't think there's anything major. The crits off of the Fortify was a bit weird, so some of her minor perks were a bit odd. The burst Fortify health was actually pretty good, but the headshot one felt a little bit weird to use. Maybe not bad. I haven't really explored it as much as I would like because, you know, it's Orisa. But yes, Orisa, been underperforming, increasing your damage slot to be more threatening without boosting her survivability. Damage is increased without boosting her survivability. Okay, that's fine. Now prevents hack ability lockout from interrupting abilities. Okay, so when she's fortified, she can't get hacked out of abilities, I guess. So, sure. So that, crucially, I think, means that EMP cannot cancel her ultimate. Am I crazy? Okay, sure. Increase amount of heat reduction by headshot by 33%. This is, as predicted, the perk that's going to get some love, which makes sense. Okay. Orisa's an awful character right now. She should be awful, but if you're going to buff her, little things like a really bad minor perk and offensive output are fine. She could also be hacked out of Javelin Spin as well, and no, that doesn't appear to be the case if she's fortified. So sure, this is fine. It's still Orisa, but yeah, okay, sure. I mean, it's still Orisa, but for a short-term solution, it's something. So far, so good. Reinhardt. Reinhardt's perks just overall just kind of sucked. Like, the concept of them wasn't necessarily bad. They just felt like too weak. Maybe the one that I really didn't like was the shield off of Firestrike. Just felt unbelievably niche. The passive heal kicking in sooner was buffed recently, and I think it's okay. But Shield Bash still feels a little bit odd to play with right now for me, personally. And then, in terms of, like, the keybinds especially, and then also, like, getting overhealth on pin is nice, but it's a major perk that still feels pretty worse than all the rest of the tank's perks. So I'm expecting, I don't know if I'm expecting new perks here, but I probably some buffs to a handful of those. Reinhardt, Fury Uptake. What is Fury Uptake? Is that the shield off of Firestrike? Okay, perfect. This is the one that I think was stupid. It just wasn't very good. And yeah, perfectly done. Nice, good start. What do we get instead? New minor perk, refund a charge of Firestrike when you stun an enemy, overfilling up to 3. Oh, okay, so this means Earth Shatter. You're gonna get your Fire Strikes back. Hit a pin, you're going to get your Fire Strikes back. And you can overfill. So if you hit a fat shatter, you're getting full Fire Strikes. 3. If you hit a pin, you get a Fire Strike back. Cool. Nice. Fun. Sure. The other one's actually still good. So this one's more like frontline focused. Let's be very clear. And the other one is still very good for flanking and angling and like more verticality. So like you have two play styles that are going to be rewarded. Now, I think most people will choose this one, but I still think the other one's good in certain situations. Do you get it back when counterpinned? Great question. I assume yes. I assume a counterpin stun counts as a stun. Shield Slam. Probably something to do with keybinds. Or just distance. Okay, now it's more useful. Sure. Yeah, honestly. Sure. Okay. So far, so good. The charge overhealth perk. Sure. Yeah. Okay, good stuff. Roadhog. I didn't love the whole refund ammo. That honestly felt like more of a skill check thing, which should stay in the game. It just felt like free value. They did not change your decisions at all. Obviously, the Roadhog trap one was really crappy because Roadhog always puts his trap at his feet anyway. So having it do more damage and or more distance is meaningless because unlike Junkrat's trap, Roadhog is reliant off of his trap to be able to consistently combo. So you're still trapping at your feet. So being able to throw it far away, well, you very rarely throw it away. So what's the point of extra range? It's not that the concept of a range on trap is bad. It's range on Roadhog's trap. And then obviously they buff the damage to make it more viable. And now it's just even more cancer to play versus. So I would like for something to do with the trap. And then the AoE team heal seems like an interesting idea, but one that I don't like that aspect of Roadhog, and I don't think very many people were using it. I don't think it was all that useful. So let's find out. Hog Toss removed. Let's go, dude. We are actually nailing it right now. Pent up. Which one is that one? Okay, it's a new one. When Pig Pin is triggered, refill 50%, take a breather rethrows, which can overfill. Oh no. Oh no. That's strong. That's pretty strong. No. Oh dear. Guys, get your ban slots ready. Ban this stupid son of a gun. Ban him. That's a lot more healing and damage reduction, correct? This is no. Loser hero indeed. Hydrogen exposure. Is that the team one? yeah, I mean, this is kind of like, as we predicted, this needed some changes. Yeah, sure. I mean, it's going to, if we talk about like, you know, pi r squared, like going from 8 to 10 is a pretty significant increase in terms of your total area based off of the diameter of what you're controlling. But yeah. So, I mean, I don't know, guys. Like, I always struggle with Roadhog because if you buff his damage, people hate it. If you buff his ult, people hate it. You buff his vape, people hate it. You buff his trap, people hate it. You know, at least with Orisa, there's aspects of the kit that you can kind of tweak with, like damage and Javelin. If you're not a tank, is okay, but Hog just defends everybody, not just tanks. So it just feels really bad. Like, it just feels really bad. So, you know, I just hate it. I just hate it. I hate this character so incredibly much. So it is what it is. I can't downgrade the patch because they helped an underperforming character, but this character fundamentally is so incredibly flawed. So yeah. Okay, Sigma. I think his other minor perk, what was the other minor perk, chat? Was it the stun on accretion distance? Yeah. That one was just so much worse than the kinetic grasp one, which was so incredibly good. Like, you could eat just even 100 damage, and it was like 3 or 4 seconds reduced on your accretion. It's really good. The other two perks felt like they were fine. I don't think I would change them necessarily. I don't know how popular they all were, but I think they serve the niche when they're necessary. So that's my prediction. Jump can now be held down to hover. Okay, so just quality of life, but they've kept the other one. I'm kind of surprised on that, but maybe there's some information here, and obviously Sigma's like fine, I guess. Okay, Winston. What do I want from Winston? Still, the deployable damage is probably not quite high enough. You obviously have to be very careful of that because it does apply to shields, but probably could tweak that one a little bit more. Primal perk is pretty... I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with Winston. A lot of it is free value, but he is a pretty fun / healthy character. What would I do? I don't know. I don't know that I would change much with Winston. Maybe the deployable damage? I'm honestly not too sure. With the introduction of perks, Winston has been overperforming. By adjusting his survivability, exchanging some armor for health, we aim to bring him in line with other tanks. They just straight tanked 50 armor. Yeah, it's tricky, man. It's tricky. He's definitely overperforming. We don't have a lot of numbers, but I know that he's overperforming. The problem is that he's still very hard to play skill floor-wise, and it's just, you always hate to see it when you combine it with Roadhog and Orisa buffs. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. I'm not going to cry about it too much, but this is pretty hard. Well, the problem is that this is our Western-centric focus, and Western players are mouth-breathing, shower-avoiding cringe lords that play Roadhog and Orisa. But you go into China and Korea, you don't, even in lower mid ranks, I think these characters have significantly higher pick rates and they do well. I mean, you even freaking see it in freaking pro meta. Like, it's just the cultural differences. So we don't always see those things being abused as much as they are. So, you know, for whatever it is, America loves Torbjorn and Roadhog. I guess there's something, there's a McDonald's joke in there somewhere. But like, you know, long story short, like, you can't, I understand. I definitely think Winston has been very strong for quite a long time. I love Winston. I think he's an honest tank. This is just exactly why we need more, not reworks necessarily, but like soft reworks, perk changes, whatever you may have. Whoops, that was where like we just make these characters, like, the problem is that you need these characters to be in the gutter for lower mid-rank players in the West to be able to play dive tanks half the time, and I just hate that so much. 50 armor is fairly significant. It's not like incredible, so I'm gonna give this one a thumbs down globally. I understand it, but I'm still giving it a thumbs down. Team, we need to work on Roadhog. We need to work on Orisa. We need to keep working on Malga. You made your bed, you gotta lie in it. You know what I'm saying? I understand. I'm not trying to be unempathetic here for the situation that they're in, but until these characters are harder to play or have less immediate tank spam presence, I just will never look at that and think, oh, that's good for the game. No. I understand, but personally, I can let my bias sneak in here a little bit. Wrecking Ball, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Wrecking Ball perks seem pretty fun. Maybe they nerf his health pack perk just a little bit. Okay, they just nerfed his armor in 6v6. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, he's crazy strong in 6v6. Like, just insane. So, yeah. Damage characters. Going right to Cassidy. Past noon removed. Sure. It was a good idea, but I actually think that they could have used past noon, but you need to be rewarded for canceling the noon whenever you'd like to. So if you just use it for a reload, or you cancel it, you just get some of that refund. That would have been interesting. New minor perk, regenerate 20 health per second for each enemy targeted by Deadeye. Huh. A little bit more sustained during Deadeye, I guess. Could be useful. Could be good. I don't know. No, the devs have nothing. Alec Dawson sat there with me and talked with me excitedly about how like the fan the hammer was like a hero fantasy kind of a thing. That like, oh, you can aim the fan the hammer. It's just more of a hero fantasy fun thing to do. This isn't a question of whether it's actually good or not. It's just fun. Whereas passing wasn't fun. So this is fine. Sure. But let's not pretend that the fan the hammer perk is like actually good. It's inconsistently, situationally, maybe okay in certain situations. But yeah, sure. Okay, fine. Let's keep going and then we'll reevaluate if there's anything. Okay, Freja. Terms of lethality is struggling. Time to earn minor perk reduced. Number of shots before max spread 8 to 12. Bola shot damage and explosion radius increased. That's nice. Damage over time increased from 75 to 90. Sure. Hanzo. Maybe scatter here. Maybe the lunge perk or the attack speed is weird as well. Arrow draw progress is preserved while wall climbing. Oh, nice. That's a huge quality of life change. Projectile speed increased on storm arrows. Is this his normal primary fire or is it the storm arrow cooldown? Are they different? Am I dumb? I might be dumb. It's the cooldown. So it's the cooldown, the ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. This is a good change. Okay, sure. Whatever. Junkrat. What would be the change for Junkrat? Honestly, I don't think a lot of people were using... What was the one with the faster projectile speed? People were saying it threw off muscle memory. Yeah, so the further toss also reveals trapped enemy to allies. TikTok. Concussive mind strengthens 0.5 seconds after landing. Okay, so just a clear description of what it actually does. I'm not looking forward to this, guys. I'm not looking forward to this one. They're gonna... If they bring back any sort of CC, I'm gonna commit a war crime. This has been an okay patch so far, and I'm just gonna be so sad. Chilling reach, so that's primary fire range, which is basically a must pick. They need to remove the wall one as well, because that one's not good either. Biting cold. What is biting cold? Please tell me they didn't move the alt fire slow to minor perk. What was it before? What was it before? 20% for... Was it 25%? Okay, it capped at 25, so now it caps at 20 instead? Or it capped at 30. It's because it was 15 and 15. I mean, I just think it's a dumb perk. I hate it, but sure, whatever. I mean, I guess it's like simultaneously more and less offensive. It's easier to access, but it has a lower peak, I guess. New major perk. Continuously hitting enemies with primary fire. No. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. It's not that big of a deal. The game's not gonna implode in a massive black hole, but this is just dumb. We're introducing CC again for no particular reason whatsoever. This character doesn't need it to function. She has so much utility, so many interesting things that you can lean into for a quote-unquote power fantasy that is incredibly toxic and will only be primarily focused on tanks. Now, you do have to be within a certain range of punish distance for that, which is fine, but it's either going to be very useless or very annoying. This is just not good game design. I'm sorry, it just isn't. It's just not. It's not going to be consistently useful, but it will be consistently annoying. Yeah, it's really short. Yeah, I'm not saying it's good. This is why I'm not freaking out. It's probably not going to be that good. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. There's so many things that they could do with Mei. We talked about the wall jump. We talked about the wall freeze. We talked the burst damage and or heal, the burst damage and slow off of the ice block if you cancel it at the right time. We talked about even reworking Blizzard into being an HOT and a damage boost for you when you're inside of it. There's just, and that was like, 20 minutes of thinking. I don't like it. I just don't like it. I don't know which one of those stinkers likes freeze and likes Mei to have crowd control. This utility does not mean crowd control. Let me say it one more time for the people in the back. Utility does not mean crowd control. It can mean crowd control, but that's like saying, oh, sugar is candy and only candy. There's so many things that you can do with utility here. And by the way, the wall perk is still here, right? Am I crazy? They still have that crappy wall perk. It's still here. What a bizarre hero change. What a bizarre hero change. I don't understand this at all. It's when I always get annoyed, it's the spirit of changes. It just doesn't make sense. Like nobody cares. Not many people are going to be playing Mei, right? But the wall perk, which is not useful, is gone. It's still here. Sorry. The slow and alt fire is still here. The ice block thing, which is incredibly weird to use, I think. I'm less likely to die in that hill, but I still think they could have done a better job of that. That's still unchanged. And they introduced a cancer major perk. I don't get it. I don't get it. So, hard pass for me. And I like Mei, which is why I'm especially disappointed. Yeah, hard pass. Big miss for me. Big miss. Again, it's not going to be something that's relevant in the vast majority of games, so the patch is still probably going to be relatively positive. But weird. So weird. Occasionally, we've said this before, but every now and then in patches, something just shows up, and I'm left scratching my head. And this is one of those changes. It feels like one per patch, you know? Okay, Sombra. They already said that, like, stack overflow is going away, which is good, and they said something about virus spread, right? Viral efficacy, which was that the reset on eliminations, which include deployables? I think Control-Alt-Delete is really good. New minor perk, health can be used, hack can be used while invisible. Successful hacks increase the duration of stealth by 2 seconds. I don't know. I'd have to play around with it. It's weird. It's potentially really annoying, but it's not as obvious when and how and where this is going to be used. Probably about health packs, yeah. We'll have to wait and see. What it means is that it allows you to kind of set up a combo in somebody easier, but you do give yourself a way to do so. So I don't know, like we have to wait and see. So you hack somebody, but you gave yourself away, and you can't do damage. Otherwise, you just lose stealth anyway. But you gave yourself where you are away, and so you kind of have to wait. So, yeah, we knew about this one. Okay, wait and see. Wait and see. The other minor perk was pretty bad, though. I think Control-Alt-Delete was amazing. This feels like the opposite of Control-Alt-Delete, where Control-Alt-Delete is more about increasing your uptime consistently by instantly healing you back. This one is more about increasing your downtime, but like making you more ratty, if that makes sense. I'm not honestly sure. This is not as obviously bad for the game, and in fact, it might be fine. We just will have to wait and see. The good thing is that while this feels on paper annoying, it does mean that Sombra is not allowed to use the hack if she wants to actually capitalize off the stealth duration. There might be a way to like cringe lord this. There probably is, so we'll just have to wait and see. This is going to be encrypted upload and viral replication is going to be a big deal. You get the hack on the target, and then you get the virus. That's going to be a big deal. The hack while invisible is honestly just as much about being able to get the hack off as it is about like the duration of stealth. So we'll see. That combo could be nasty. So we'll see. Torbjorn. I think just Torb needs to get nerfed. I think the hammer heals kind of needs to probably be changed. It's just not good. It's silly, but it's just not good at all. I don't think his perks are bad, like toxic. I mean, the level 3 turret is, again, just hero fantasy, whatever. The wall turret's really fun, really useful. It's annoying to play versus for some characters, I understand, but it's pretty skillful. He just needs a nerf. He's just too strong not perk-wise, just he is too strong. He doesn't get nerfed? He doesn't get nerfed. Huh. Okay, maybe we need public stats, I guess, because I see more Torb than I've seen ever. So, interesting. NA wins again. Yeah. Okay. Well, right. Tracer, I mean, we're just going to see perk changes here, really. The specific one would be maybe the pulse bomb radius one. I haven't found a consistently good use for that one, although I don't think it's a terrible perk. And then obviously the blink refund. And Tracer's going to get nerfed too, watch it. Blink's reduced from 3 to 2, it's fine. Quantum Entanglement now additionally grants 20 over ammo. That's actually pretty neat as well. That definitely adds a little bit of thought into it. I still would probably take Flashback, but there's definitely a world where, like, now recall, if you recall in a good location, it's going to significantly increase your DPS for like the next 2 seconds. So, yeah. I think the Tracer, these are good changes, actually. I like these. But it's within the context of everything else. I am hoping that we don't go back to, like, you know, Torb and freaking Roadhog and, like, I don't know. I'm just, we'll see. Maybe Freya, because Freya is going to be kind of like the new variable in here, and bans. So bans may open things up a little bit here, but I think they're going to get a lot of information on bans about what people really think about this. All right, on a time. Please give me my nade cooldown back. Please give me my nade cooldown back. Please give me my nade cooldown back. Nerf the burst damage. Nerf the balanced damage healing. Whatever. Give me my 12-second nade. I don't want 14-second nade. It is ridiculous. 14-second cooldowns. Inexcusable. Groggy's nerfed. Sure, that's fine. This is actually pretty neat because adding a damage utility onto Groggy, it still probably should be nerfed more, to be honest with you. I still think 50% is too much. Means that it is more useful versus squishies because 50 damage off of a tank matters significantly less than off of a squishy. So, okay. Second bounce damage and healing reduced from 50 to 25. Great. Frick you for not reducing the cooldown. Frick you. But these are good. These are relatively good nerfs. I think this could be reduced even further for the 50 damage. But also, frick you. 2 14-second cooldowns. I'm going to set my hair on fire. You could reduce the slow to 25%. You can honestly, I'm still convinced that the better sleep perk, which we were talking about, which was if you hit a sleep dart, you gain a 10%, 15% speed boost for 2 or 3 seconds, right? So that you get the effect of Groggy where you can disengage and rotate away from stuff, but without the tank having to deal with the slow. And you could do that plus the 50 damage. Sure, why not? Heck, you could even make Biotic Bounce don't anti. It just does damage and healing, but it doesn't anti. Okay. Baptiste, what would Baptiste need? I think the removal of the burst heal is just really bad for the attack speed. It's not good enough. That's what I predict they'll be looking into. So just general buffs, more healing. His clip is reduced, which is fine. So more healing, but a smaller clip. Okay, yeah, there we go. This is what we were expecting. Okay, this is fine. Sure. You mostly reload for your bullets? Okay. Juno. They talked about like kind of whipping around her perks a little bit and making the one with a double jump reset onto a minor, I think. This is the one where it was like the combo, which felt kind of niche. Duration increase removed. Yep. Locked on. Reduces cooldown pulsar torpedoes by 1.5 seconds for every enemy hit. Yeah, good. This is the thing that was really fun in Stadium, and I think it's fine. Okay, these are fine. Life Weaver, projectile speed increase. Wow, nicely done. Good stuff. Good stuff. He doesn't need tighter spread. He already has tight spread in long distances if you burst fire, but nice. Cool stuff. Life Weaving, bonus heal increase from 30 to 40. Yeah, sure. Probably could buff that even further. So for those of you guys who don't know, that's the perk that when you use your dash, you charge up your next heal. So you can actually use your dash aggressively, if that makes sense, to support somebody else. Yeah, that's just okay. Lucio perks. Basically, everyone was getting boop distance, but the other both the majors are pretty reasonable. Probably look at the other minor, though. Grooven. New minor perk, Amp It Up, is activated during Sound Barrier. Pretty niche situation, but would be really useful. So you could like amp Sound Barrier and then amp like 6 or 7 seconds later. It's all right. Worth experimenting with for sure. Yeah, worth experimenting with. I don't hate it. It's interesting. Mercy had a lot of crap. Honestly. I think like you could literally start from scratch with a lot of Mercy's perks. I know we talked about the Res Overhealth perk, which is kind of like, but yeah, we'll kind of wait and see. Angelic Recovery. Mercy gains Overhealth, have casting Resurrect, sure, whatever. Zenyatta, they won't take away the hover perk. People like that. I'm not sure. I think both of his major perks could use. I don't know. I'm honestly kind of on the fence with Zenyatta. Let's see what. Okay, so they nerfed him in 6v6 slightly. Jump can now be held on the hover. That's a big quality of life change. And then they buffed Duality, which I think is a good change because I don't think that perk was as situationally useful. So that's right. Read the terms here. You gain the Overhealth if you get a successful res. So you can still punish the res, but she's able to get out if she's able to get it off. I think that seems a lot more fair to me. Overall, I'll give it a B-. Tank changes were okay-ish. Orisa, Roadhog, Winston being the kind of like, I think Roadhog, Winston especially being kind of like, eh. But I'm a little surprised at some of the changes. Like, the Mei one seems like such a major miss. Lack of a Torb nerf, I honestly don't know how I feel about that, and I would have expected a more come elsewhere. It's a fine patch. It's a good patch, but we will have to see how Freya shifts this meta. Yeah, we'll have to kind of wait and see. If we took away Mei, I'd give this patch a B. If we took it, I'd give it a B, yeah. Because let's be honest, the majority of the changes were fine. Or even good. But the ones that were not fine were very emotionally disturbing. So I'll give it a B-. I think I'm also factoring in bans here as well, which definitely will help this out. But yeah, B- for me.